I think that I've met the love of my life. This is one of those deep and heavy recordings that I've been thinking about for a while. You know, being given a second chance in life is like dying and being sent back to earth and to try again, to live again. And when you come back the second time, going through a spiritual awakening, you have a choice. Going through a spiritual awakening is like being given a second chance in life. It's like dying, going to heaven, having a conversation with God, and coming back down to earth and being given a second chance to live. For me, number one, I want to live my truth. I want to be truthful and I want to be honest. And I want to live as authentic as possible, free from judgment, free from validation, free from abantu bazothini, from what people will say. I want to live how I want. And one of the things I need to mention and talk about is the fact that I feel like I've met the love of my life. I've been in relationships, not so many, but I've been in relationships, been married, have 2 kids, not longer together with my ex-husband, been single for 3 years. I met the love of my life at the age of 32 years old. While I was going through an awakening, I was going through the dark night of the soul. I was trying to start a new life away from my ex-husband, and I met a man one faithful night 3 years ago, 2023. I was not planning to fall in love. I had no intentions of falling in love. I just felt like, let me just have fun. For the first time after my marriage, I was in a marriage for 7 years and I was together with my ex for 12 years. I've met this guy and somehow he had his eyes on me. He was into me. At that time, I was not interested in a relationship. I was just going through phases. I was just leaving my marriage at the time and I was just figuring myself out. And I thought to myself, since this guy's into me, let's just have fun. Let's just go with the flow and see what happens. This guy was a very prominent someone in the music industry. I didn't know who he was. It was the first time I actually laid my eyes on him. But the first time I saw him, it's like I saw something different. I don't know what, because it was just, one of those things you see someone, you don't know them, but when you look at them, you're like, and then who are you? I had never done that before. But you know what? Because I'm not a groupie, I was like, whatever. Only to find out that we're gonna meet later, and we did meet. And that guy was into me. He would not let me out of his sight. Some like a refreshing energy. And I was like, this is different. I've never seen this before. So let's just see what happens. We didn't date for long. We dated for like a month. But I was just going with the flow. Everything was happening so fast. It was nice. It was beautiful. We enjoyed each other's company. We talked about everything. There was no filter. The guy was so open. It was so weird. I was also very open. We were so affectionate with each other. We couldn't keep our hands off each other. I've never had that with anyone. To tell you the truth, I didn't actually realize that I was in love at the time because I had never been in love like that before. I think only until maybe a year. That's when I actually realized that this guy actually meant a lot to me. We dated for a month. He disappeared, ghosted me. I got so mad. And I was like, you know what, the grass is not green on the other side anyway. We know this story because I had gone through a very dark phase of my life of about 2 years where I was just dating a lot of random people and it just didn't go anywhere. Like a lot of talking stages, a lot of exchanging the numbers, but nothing materialized. So in actual fact, I expected him to be like everyone else. And so I didn't get hurt almost immediately, but I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie because it was more like a friendship. Like everything was so amazing that we talked about everything, our fears, our traumas, where we come from, our marriages, because he was also married, and the disappointments in between those relationships. Like everything was just, we were open and we were not looking for a relationship, both of us, but we were just, kind of there for each other in a way. I believed that we could talk about anything, right? So that when he ghosted me, he didn't explain to me why. Months later, he actually explained to me that he was working things out with his wife. At the time, I left my marriage, which we didn't make a pact or anything. We didn't tell each other what to do, but I decided to leave and he decided to go back, which I somehow felt like I was really proud of this guy for trying because I understand there's kids involved and marriage is not something that you just kind of wake up from and just decide to leave just like that, even if you've met someone that you actually kind of like. But most of us, if we're being honest, you'd rather deal with the devil that you know than starting a new relationship with someone you can't even trust, you don't even know, that could easily just do the same and disappoint you. And most of us, when we meet these people, we are at a very fragile part of our lives. In a way, I was also protecting myself because I just didn't trust the guy, that he was just being honest. I felt like I couldn't trust him because I had trust issues, I had daily issues. I've never had a good relationship with my dad. My mom not so much because she didn't even stay for long. She just left me, and there was that void in my heart, that void in my soul, that nothing good ever stays with me because here's proof that my mother didn't stay for long. I never had a good relationship with my dad. Like the relationship that I thought was going to be the rest of my life, my ex husband, also. So somehow those wounds came up, and I was trying to protect myself, my soul. I'm like, okay, fine. I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. I didn't think I was ready for a relationship when I met this person. 6 months down the line, we met again, we had conversations, and those emotions, those feelings came up again. And somehow he wasn't mine. I had to face reality and know that this guy is not mine. A year into it, I realized that I was feeling something I've never felt before. We met 2023 in September. By December of 2024, I learned that I was in love. And this love was a different kind of love. It wasn't the love or feeling that I've ever experienced before. Couldn't put my fingers into it. I dreamt about this guy. It slowly became spiritual. It slowly became a different kind of layer, a different kind of place, path, maybe even a spot or part in my heart that has never been touched before. The more the distance, the more I became more open, the more I started loving, understanding him, the more I started falling in love with him, the more started falling in love with myself. Somehow, this guy reflected some of the parts of myself that I didn't actually like. He was the opposite of me. The things that I didn't like about myself, he absolutely adored. He wanted to see me all the time. He wanted to see me smile. I've always had issues with my smile. I've always had insecurities about my smile. It's not perfect. as an inheritance from my ancestors. My grandmother has it, my great grandfather has it, and that's why I'm who I am, because I am them and they are me. He loved that about me. He loved my voice. He's the one that motivated this podcast. He's the one that motivated that I vlog. He's the one that motivated that I do something. But he didn't say it in so many words, because now thinking about it, he actually kept on pointing out some of the things that I didn't see about myself. I learned about those things when the distance taught me. The pain actually introduced me to myself. The pain of losing this person, the pain of falling in love with this person while he was not mine and he was in another relationship. I never thought I could be so loving, so patient, so kind. I've never been a patient person. If I want something, I want it. And if it doesn't come, I just give up on it and I'm like, okay, whatever. I move on. I make peace. I move on. I look to other things. With him, it was different. I believe that I've met the love of my life. The relationship wasn't a relationship, but we met briefly. At 32 years old, I meet a random stranger. The stranger that changes my life. A stranger that changes the way I see life. A stranger that makes me see myself differently. A stranger that teaches me things about me. He taught me about me. Not in so many words, not in the way he said it, not in the way he does things. Just by being himself is what changed me. Let's do another part.